welcome to Speed Force Racing's Premier Division. It is round 11. We're coming live from Hungary. My name is Adam, joined by Peter. How are we doing tonight, Peter?
Good evening and hello. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. What about you, mate?
Yeah, doing really good. So, your home Grand Prix. Do you want to give us facts to get started into the session?
Yes, for sure. Yeah. So, yeah, my home Grand Prix. I'm from Hungary. Yeah. So we're gonna use 3 tire compounds as we always do. We have 14 corners, which includes turn 4, which called Menso. It's an uphill left-hander, very hard to get right and very strict on corner cutting. Then you come up to Rubik S's. It's the slow right-left chicane, if you know what I mean, Adam.
I do, yeah.
Then Buddha and Pest, respectively, and then corner number 9 is Alacy, then Lotus, and then you come up to the end of the track, which is the right-hander, which turns to the main straight is Drapa Janos. Yeah, very interesting names to these corners. So yeah, 14 corners, 4.3 kilometers, which means 2.7 miles. The lap record is a 1:19.071 set by Michael Schumacher in 2004. And yeah, it's a pretty hard track to race at.
Brilliant. So yeah, some great information there from Peter. We'll just go through the top 5 in both the drivers' standings and the constructors. So in the drivers' standings, currently Noak is in first place on 162 points. SFR Josh Fletcher is second. He's not racing today. He's on 157 points. Humbug is in third on 82 points. Techno with 78 points in fourth. Linell in fifth place with 58 points. In the constructors, Mercedes currently first with 298 points, McLaren Honda 234 points in second, third Sauber 155 points, Ferrari on 107 points, and Haas on 73 points. So it looks like Noak's getting a bit of a challenge from Josh, but like Josh is not racing tonight because it obviously is his birthday, so he's having a night off. So we're just seeing if we're going to get any more drivers into the lobby. Just waiting for a few new drivers as well. So who is your pick, Peter, for pole position?
Okay, let me run through the grid, through the drivers racing tonight. I'm excited about Elank. I've never heard of him before, so I'm excited about him. But I would say maybe, just maybe, JP1 Hamilton will get pole position. What about you?
He was going to be my pick as well. I just got a feeling he was like, I was looking over the information that Jonas makes with the tables and the race result, and on the screenshot of the finishing positions, he was 9/10 quicker than VSR in the race last week at Silverstone. So I think GP1 Hamilton, if he can get a clean getaway from the start, he should have an interesting race.
Also, I'm excited about Honey Badger.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, he needs a good race now. Like, yeah, I definitely think he needs a good race because so far he hasn't got a whole lot of good races.
Yeah, amazingly, right. he's not got into 5th or better in a Grand Prix. So he's got speed to him. He's got some skill, but he's just not having the best of races through the season, really.
Yeah, but hopefully this will change tonight, and then from then on he can get podiums and stuff like that, and maybe wins because the pace is there. Just he needs a bit of luck.
Yes, definitely. So a couple of new drivers joining us today. One of them, Ollie P 2018. So it'd be interesting to see what he can provide to the grid. Can spice up the battle up front with the likes of Techno, GP1 Hamilton, Humbug as well. Humbug is on a good run of points so far. That's which is a decent position of third in the Drivers' Championship. Is he one to maybe carefully collect the points through the season to be maybe a bigger threat for the championship come near the end of the season?
Well, if you remember, Hamburg last year was doing just the same, collecting the points, scoring podiums, and driving confidently and scoring, which is a very important thing for a long season. Because, yeah, a Formula One season is never about one race. Well, maybe it's about one race at a time, but the season is never about one race, so you have to be consistent. You have to bring points every race, and then if you can add them up, you can become champion.
Yeah, that's some great advice. Would you do one round of invites and then we'll start the session and get the race underway?
Yes.
So it's an easy one-stop race. Jonas gave me some interesting facts earlier. So you can do super soft to soft, but you can only do the one quali lap on them super soft tyres. So you got to try and think ahead for the race. Or you can go super soft medium. You're going to be slow at the after your pits, but come the end of the race, should be a bit more pacier than some of the guys that may be on the soft tyres to the end. So it could be quite a tactical battle. It's very hard to pass around this track, as you've seen on the real F1, and of course if you've raced around here with your friends, it's quite tough to get around. But we should see some guys, maybe if it's a wet race, see the likes of Lord JB, TJ Arnis, Gamey Things, Blood and Sand get into the battle for some serious points. So we've got 60% tyre deg, so just over the halfway scale there, so it shouldn't be too bad. I guess that's why we're getting the one-stop strategy prediction from Jonas. So we're just going to wait for a couple of more seconds and then we'll get the session underway. So are you a fan of your home track, Peter?
Well, I've been to the Hungary ring once in my life, and yeah, that was back in the day in 2006. I saw Michael Schumacher, Fernando Alonso, but you remember those cars weren't like these cars, like the sounds. I think they use V8s.
Yeah, it was a better time then with the different regulations now.
Yeah, if you're thinking about the sound of the cars, yeah, it was a lot better. I remember we had to use earplugs. Well, I was sorry, I was really small, but we had to use earplugs because yeah, I just couldn't do anything without it. Because yeah, it was painful actually. Those cars were so loud.
I think with Formula One it should be the top sport in the motorsport tier. It should have something different. It should be. I don't get why it's all about leading towards the road cars technology. No one wants it. We want to see drivers who are the best go fast and flat out through the race and have decent racing battles.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, that's. I think that's what everyone wants to see. And sorry, if you saw the Monaco Grand Prix last week, yeah, that was a boring race. I'm not gonna lie. And one thing that stood out for me was Daniel Ricciardo got his issue around lap 28, I think, and then his pace dropped off for like 3 seconds a lap, and then everyone else's pace dropped back to Daniel Ricciardo's pace. So it was like they just weren't even want to race or overtake, just bring the car home, not make any mistakes and stuff like that, just thinking about long term. And that's something we do not want to see.
I think Monaco, as great as it is, it's run its time with modern Formula One.
Yes.
If that presented the FIA now,
Sorry.
F1 race. If Monaco never existed and you presented that track to the FIA now, they would not pass that as an F1 track.
Yeah. Just one thing, there was an idea, or there is an idea about making a city race in Budapest, and we would be the first country to hold 2 races. That's just a bold idea, I think, because yeah, Budapest, awesome, nice city, beautiful with beautiful places, but it's it's too tight for these cars, and modern Formula One is not about. I think it's not about this. Or yeah, maybe it's just my bold opinion, but I think maybe you agree with me.
No, I totally agree. I think they need to just go back to the drawing board and get back to tracks that are going to provide real racing action and not be a procession. So as we are into the qualifying session, 12 minutes for the guys to get out, ideally to put a banker lap in, very important because it's a track where if you make a mistake it will punish you, go into the barriers, and it's not forgiving at all. Got a few guys coming out.
I got some informations about the weather, and we're gonna have a dry race throughout the evening, so a dry qualifying and a dry race as well, which means simple one stop, I guess.
Definitely. Look at all the guys coming out. So it's unusual for everyone to be rushing out so early into the session because of the traffic build-up. It's quite a short lap, isn't it?
No, very short lap, yeah. As I mentioned, 2.7 miles, 4.3 kilometers. Very short lap too, and the traffic is, yeah, it's bad because of the short period you ran around the track, and then you came back, and then oh, there's someone, and there's another one. So you have to find yourself some space to get yourself done, get yourself a lap done.
Okay, with the likes of GP1 Hampton, had a good race last week. Can we expect him to go for the Drivers' Championship, or is it just way too far gone in the season?
Well, to win a championship?
Yeah,
to get into the championship?
To get into the battle.
I absolutely would be amazed if he can get into the battle. Yeah, we all know we have drivers missing races, and yeah, due to personal issues and personal stuff, which is understandable because it's a Wednesday night race, middle of the week. But I think it's like if you can win a title from like 170 point gap, I think it's just a little bit too much.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. We're just seeing the Ferrari of TJ Onis. He's on his super soft tyres and he's on his first fast time lap of the session. Let's see what he can do. Sector
going
1.
Through Mansell. That was a good sector 1, yeah. I bet we will see better first sector times, but that was a good run through Mansell. So getting back to the thing we were talking about GP1 Hamilton. If you remember last year, I came back after what was like Singapore.
Yeah,
I missed
yeah.
11. I missed 11 races, so I've done 9 races and finished second, and I've won 6 out of the 9 races. And just to tell you, and you all know, I could not win the championship. So I think that's a little bit too much.
Yeah, I've got you. I totally understand. So BSR Marquis goes in with a 1:16.8. 2 tenths back is Honey Badger. So Honey Badger and BSR are trading times quite early on in the session. Lord JB currently provisionally 6th. Decent display so far from Lord JB. Alank, new driver, 8th at the moment. Graham is provisionally 9th. We've had a extra warm-up lap. We're seeing Blood and Sand now.
Off.
Yeah, Yellow's in sector 1. Seeing Blood and Sand come around the final corner. He sets a lap time of a 1 minute 19.432. Provisionally 9th for Blood and Sand.
Yeah, on board with Ollie P 2018, and someone is off again. Maybe it's just because of the lap traffic, and one is off, just slowing down.
Interesting to see that Gamey Things is on the soft tyres, as is Ollie P, so only 2 out of the field going for the medium compound available.
Just to tell you something, he's there or thereabout TJ Onis' first sector time, and he's on the soft tyres, and I've never heard of him too, but that was a good first sector.
We're seeing GP1 Hamilton in sector 3. He's got so much traffic. It's not the cleanest lap he's going to get because just so much traffic had to pass there on his time lap. So let's see what he's going to chuck in.
Traffic is horrible.
He didn't get the lap didn't go through. He must have invalidated it.
Yeah, it was a 17-1, which has been invalidated actually by the stewards. Unfortunately for GP1 Hamilton, but look at Ollie P1, sorry, Ollie P 2018, a 19.5 on a set of softs. It's a good banker.
So SFR Chopper coming around the final corner, and he's currently on a decent time to move him up a few positions at least.
Time.
Oh, it does. Provisionally
He's
third.
Good job, good job.
So let's see
look
if
at the gap between.
We'll go see if GP1
second.
Hamilton's going to get a lap in.
Like, look at the gap between second and third place. Over a second.
Shows you that Honey Badger, he's not the best of seasons just because of some of the races that he's had incidents in, but he's got some pace to him.
Yeah, that's something we all know. And yeah, personally, I've been waiting for him to have a clean race and to show us what he's capable of. Like we see he's very talented, very quick, awesome driver with awesome skills. Just needs to put together a good race.
Yeah, definitely. We're seeing Uzi going through the right left there, and he's on the super soft tyres. Do we expect Uzi to challenge the maybe top 5?
Yes, I definitely expect Uzi. He's a very good driver too. And something we've all been talking about throughout every racing season is confidence. Because if you don't have the confidence in yourself, then you're probably not going to get the best out of yourself. Because, yeah, that's how it works. Like, I'm talking about myself, and that's how I work.
Yeah, I think it's very important to maybe do some practice. I know a lot of guys do a lot of practice, but just to get confident where you're going to do your brake, where you're going to brake. You know, some people brake at different points going into a corner, and I think practice will serve you right as Uzi goes provisionally 9th position. I think GP1 Hamilton is coming in. He's going very slowly. He's on super soft. He probably want to bin them tyres and go for a fresh run.
Uzi, Mays, and GP1 Hamilton is the only driver out on track, and now as Graham. And Mays is starting his lap too.
So we'll go on board with Mays, and Peter, would you like to take us through this lap?
Of course I will. So Mays going round center corner. Very important to get a good run through here, which is an uphill entry through Mansell, and then a very hard right-hander. Important to keep the car inside, then brake as late as you can into Rubik S's, then Buddha and pass respectively the left and the right chicane, which is a very long chicane and doesn't really have a lot of rhythm in it. Then coming up towards Lacey, and that was sector 2 done. A good second sector from Mays. Coming up towards the last part of the circuit, he missed his braking point a little bit. Then this left-hander is so hard to get right, because here in Hungary we have a lot of different corners. Like I'm talking about a corner like which is positioned towards the outside of the circuit and has a bump in it, just like corner number 1. It's not really visible here in the game, but if you go on track walk, which I was lucky enough to do, this track is very bumpy, and I can tell you that this is very, very bumpy.
Yeah, that's true. It's like with the likes of Monaco, you're going downhill and you've got a misty bump on the left hand side. It's very important to know every aspect of the track just to get yourself ready. Techno Thriller, our current champion, provisionally 4th at the moment. He's fourth in the championship as well, in the drivers' championship. So he's got a lot to do to try and retain his championship. But season is only just over halfway, so still time for him to collect them points that he needs, and he needs quite quickly.
Yeah, I think we have two major contenders in Novak and Josh, but they are both missing actually. I didn't even notice Novak is missing.
Yeah, our championship leader unavailable to race tonight, and SFR Josh Fletcher currently celebrating his 18th birthday, so congratulations to Josh, and he will be unavailable tonight as well, which is understandable.
Definitely, so happy birthday Josh. And VSR is on his hot lap, which is very important for us, because maybe we will see a potential pole lap right here in front of our eyes. I think he just made a little bit of a mistake here, but so far it's a pretty clean lap, which is very important. Rubik S is very tight, very tough on the braking and on the exit too. And then past the corner, and then a flat out left-hander, Lacy, which he takes almost flat out, and I think his lap has been invalidated. He's pushing on, so maybe not.
So it's between VSR and Honey Badger, it looks like, for the pole position, but Techno Thriller done an amazing lap to get third currently.
Well, second, yeah. A good lap. Haven't even seen it. And that's a 1:16.5 from VSR.
1:16.5 from VSR. So what can Honey Badger do? Can he get close to VSR or even beat him for that pole position?
I think he will be close, but I don't think he will beat him. And I'm also anxious to see GP1 Hamilton, who's on his hot lap.
So quite a few fast guys still out on track, and anything could happen. VSR could lose pole position. We will see what's going to happen. Honey Badger going a little bit wide down.
GP1 Hamilton, second at the moment. Almost 4/10 away from VSR.
So GP1 Hamilton showing that he's within touching distance of VSR, but still a little bit of time to gain. Sector 3, we are with current provisional third place Honey Badger. Can he improve?
I think he won't get him. Yeah, he improved, but just lost out the front row.
Humbug is down massively on his lap as well. I think he's down about
Humbug
3 seconds.
Eighth. He's 8th at the moment, but he's not going to improve anymore, because
Ollie P goes 11th.
Ollie P, good debut.
Definitely a solid. It's probably the best position to be when you're outside the top 10. You get fresh choice of tyre.
And Alan also 13.
Yep, Alang doing a great job as well. So we should go straight to first. About 2 minutes with a stupid countdown timer. So Codemaster's been very kind to us. So with pole position was VSR with a 1:16.5, GP1 Hamilton second 1:16.8, Honey Badger's third on the grid, fourth is Techno Thriller, fifth is Lee Nell, sixth SFR Chopper the Gaul is seventh, eighth Humbug, ninth TTL Maze, TJ Honest completes top 10, 11th is Ollie P Gaming Things is in 12th, 13th is Alank, Uzi is 14th, 15th Lord JB, Blood and Sand is 16th, and S Graham is 17th. So Lord JB probably wouldn't have been too happy with 15th on the grid, so a lot for him to do. He does have slightly better race pace than his quality pace, which is good. I'm not saying his quality pace was bad, it's just probably just a bad day at the office for Lord JB. To stick myself out of that hole.
No, he's very quick, yeah.
So just wait for the guys. They'll be choosing their race strategy now, won't they? Is it want to maybe add a bit more fuel into the car, or would you go as light as possible?
Yeah, as I mentioned, I believe it was last week I mentioned I would definitely go with a lighter car, just because of the start.
So it doesn't matter what track, it would always be a lighter car for you?
Yeah, it would always be, especially when you're running in wet weather conditions, because Then you're gonna, like, let's say we have a wet race until like lap 20. Then you're gonna underfuel the car a whole lot because you're gonna run in lean for like the most of the lap because you want to have the best possible grip out of the exits of the corner.
Yeah, that is definitely true. So Ollie P starts on the medium tyres. That's going to be an interesting one. So he's going to be quite quick at the end if he goes on to the super softs. So that's going to be an interesting one to maybe keep an eye out on during the race. So Ollie P in his debut race starting 11th, of Valank in his debut as well on 13th, both on the medium tyres. So he might be trying to shake up the order a little bit as we see.
I believe they made contact.
So yeah, not the best of formation laps, but it is only the formation lap. Just gives the drivers a better idea of the track conditions. But as you can see, nice and sunny, so nice track temperatures. So the car should be able to go quite aggressive at the start of the race. But the driver's got to remember you can not win a race at the on the first lap, only lose it. So hopefully we get a little bit more of a dignified start to the race than last week. There was a bit of contact in the midfield, but nevertheless it was a decent race.
Yeah, well, one thing that stood out for me is we've never really seen a crash between race leaders, which is obviously very good, but just for the excitement, I would like to see something, just a little touch maybe, or something like that, you know.
Something like what with the Red Bulls in Baku?
Just something like that, yeah. It would be interesting, wouldn't it?
So there you go, Peter wants Destruction Derby on the Hungarian Grand Prix. That would be interesting. You never know, it could give you a surprise race winner. So
yeah.
Seeing VSR going around the final corner with a Ferrari right in the middle of him, which is interesting.
Yeah, these things tend to happen in this year's game. But yeah. Okay, so we're getting ready. Once again.
So I'll hand over to you, Peter, to do the start.
Yeah, so 5 lights and another long hold, but actually it was not that long of a hold, and VSR Marquis got a really good start, and as I see GP Hamilton might lose a few places, Honey Badger can go around the outside, and yes he does. What's happening back down? I think everyone got through unscathed. Yes,
yeah,
they have.
Like everyone's got through the first few corners unscathed there, so great start. GP1 Hamilton though losing positions. Techno Thriller putting up a decent fight as the Ferrari driver.
Lost another Techno, wow. What a move.
Honey Badger has a clean start to the race and he's within half a second of VSR. Is he going to be able to get near him?
Lee almost ran into the back of GP1 Hamilton. He was lucky to avoid it because, yeah, he locked up his brakes and then just almost went straight into the back of him, just like Daniel Ricciardo did to Max Verstappen.
So GP1 Hamilton probably would want to have had a better start to the race because he wanted to challenge VSR, but it can just showcase the driver if he's got to overtake a couple of people to get into that battle for the first position.
And if you say Lee is 5th, just to talk about the constructors, just quickly, Lee is 5th, and none of the, the GOAT is 8th, and no other drivers are racing for either McLaren or Mercedes. So that's something to keep an eye on tonight.
That's true. Honey Badger getting the fastest lap of the race. So is he showing that he can hang with VSR? It's less than 3/4 of a second now between them. So hopefully Honey Badger can chase him down. He's got Techno Thriller 1.1 seconds behind him, but GP1 Hamilton is trying to make a move on the Ferrari driver. Can our current champion defend?
Only P lost his front wing. Unlucky for him. Really, he's in the pits, and he started on the mediums, so I think he's gonna have to make another pit stop after this one.
Definitely, here we're going soft to super soft, one expects. So 0.6 of a second now between Honey Badger and VSR. He's keeping him within his sights. Honey Badger has some real pace around the Hungary ring.
Yeah, and Honey Badger, I think he's even quicker on a race trim than on a qualifying lap.
So that's quite interesting that Honey Badger has more race pace than his qualifying pace, so that is quite something to look forward to later on in the race. Honey Badger getting the fastest lap of the race as well, just to show you guys that he is still trying to get after VSR.
Yeah, but remember,
GP1 Hamilton had a little look at the Ferrari there. It looked like they were going to make contact. Nicely done by both drivers.
Yeah, Techno holding on to P3 right now, and GP1 Hamilton has to get Techno out of his way because he's gonna lose touch to the leaders, which is not gonna be handy for him.
Lee looks like he's falling back now. 2.4 seconds between himself and GP1 Hamilton, and Humbug is all over the back of the McLaren Honda driver. Let's see what the Sauber driver can do.
Nice little group, and VSR is picking up the pace now. He put Honey Badger out of the 1 second gap, or at least at the moment Honey Badger is out of the 1 second gap, which is a very important thing because of the DRS.
Yeah, that is so true. GP1 Hamilton is still trying to get past Techno Thriller. Humbug still trying to get past Lee now. A lot of battles happening down through the field. We'll go look at our new driver Alank 1985. He's trying to get past S. Graham on the soft tyres, Alank on the medium tyres.
GP1 Hamilton is so close now. GP1 Hamilton is gonna make a good little dive bomb up the inside, and Techno will have the outside line. No, he cut him. Awesome move.
So GP1 Hamilton is just in front of Techno after a decent little battle between these two. Techno trying to come back at the Toro Rosso driver. What will the Ferrari driver have in store for GP1 Hamilton?
I don't know, man. It seems like GP1 Hamilton is just a little bit quicker than Techno at the moment. Maybe he can get up to Honey Badger's back as well. Remember, he was starting from second place and really bottled the start.
That's true. In the sister Ferrari is TJ Honest, teammate to Techno Thriller. TJ Honest all over the back of Mays. Mays in 8th position, 5/10 of a second between these guys. We go and see if GP1 Hamilton is managing to pull away from Techno Thriller.
Chopper is running lonely in 10th position.
S. Graham is close to the back of Lord JB. We'll go and try and see if we can pick that battle up. These two have a history, a few little incidents in previous races, shall we say. The Renault driver S. Graham looks like he's on the prowl to try and get that 13th position off Lord JB in the Haas.
Yeah, Lord JB, I think he might challenge for another points finish. I know it's not. It does not seem like he can get up to P10, but he always does these weird tactics, like going a lot on these tires or on those tires, and then suddenly he gets up to good places, like 9th, 8th. He always finishes there.
Yeah, definitely a few drivers being caught out by the strict track limits imposed by the stewards. Look at this. The Gort is all over the back of Lee now. Lee now looks like he's struggling on the super soft tyres. Only 5 laps in though. Did he do extra laps in qualifying?
He's gonna make his move now. No, he backed out of it. That's some really nice racecraft from him.
He's trying to keep himself in the mirrors of Lee Nell's McLaren Honda. Try and unsettle the driver if he can do that. But the Gort's going to get a nice exit on this corner and get some decent
really
toe.
Nice exit. Yeah, Lee might be running a little bit lower wings than the Gort, because the slipstream is not pulling the Gort into Lee Nell's back. But now
the Gort side by side Is he going to make a move? Is Mercedes driver going to try and take on the McLaren Honda? Lee looks like he's trying his best to keep him behind. Mercedes driver
And
still
Lee
trying to look
positioned his car very well.
Yeah, he did. Brilliant driving by Lee now. But Mercedes will have a nice run at the McLaren Honda uphill now. And the tight left-hander, you can get criticised by the stewards for just taking a touch too much curb. It looks like the Gault is doing his best to keep it inside the track limits, and he follows the McLaren Honda. He's going to try and hopefully get a move done within the next couple of laps.
It would be important for the Gault, because maybe he can get up to the back of Techno Thriller, and if someone crashes out from the top three, then the Gault can fight for a podium, which, like, oh, he almost ran into the back of him.
So very close between the McLaren Honda driver and the Mercedes driver. Let's see if these can battle it out fairly and try and not come into contact.
They're both very fair drivers.
Oh, Lee's gone off track there.
Made a mistake. This might cost him. This will definitely cost him now. And there you go. Nice move.
Nice
Tries to
move.
make the switchback, but couldn't do it. Nice move by the Gault. It shows that you can overtake around here, but it's really...
So we are waiting for Lee now to try and get back to overtaking the Gault. Looks like we have lost Peter just temporarily, so we'll just see if we can get back into the party. So TJ Arness is in 8th. He's trying to get past TTL Mays. So just see if I'm going to interrupt the broadcast just to invite Peter back into the party. Apologies for this technical issue on the side of Peter's behalf, I think there. We'll get back to the action. Sorry about that. So TJ Arness still on the back of TTL Mays. Lee now has dropped further back from the Gault. The Gault 5.7 seconds now behind Techno Thriller. The Ferrari driver is trying to catch up to GP1 Hamilton, but there's 3.5 seconds between them as we welcome Peter back into the commentator's booth.
Yeah, sorry, for some reason, I just lost connection.
So Honey Badger, he seems to be gaining a couple of attempts on VSR there, so hopefully he's going to pull himself into contention further into the race.
Okay, just a second.
So let's go check on TJ Honest. Still chasing down TTL Mays. Can he get the move done anytime soon? About 5/10 of a second between these guys now. Let's see what the Ferrari driver can do against Mays. Mays is a very decent driver, very quick in the race as well.
So yeah, I think I'm back.
Brilliant. Humbug is in 9th position, half a second behind TJ Arness, so we're getting a bit of a train now behind Lee now. Is Lee's tyres starting to struggle? GP1 Hamilton has left the session. Hopefully he can get back into the race. So let's go see what TTL Mays is trying to do. Is he trying to work out a different way to attack Lee Nell's McLaren Honda? 8/10 of a second between them, but he's got Mays has TJ Arness behind him, and Humbug and Chopper. So a little train still trying to get past Lee Nell's McLaren, but Lee Nell is doing the best he can to see the Ferrari of TJ Arness trying to make a move on Mays, and Humbug is still sticking close to the Ferrari driver. GP1 Hamilton has left the session, so he's losing positions. That promotes our current champion Techno Thriller into 3rd position. Second is Honey Badger, 1.8 seconds behind VSR, but he still looks like he's got the pace to probably challenge VSR. There's a 10th in it between them every lap or so, so very close. Let's go see what TJ Arness can do. Can he get past Mays? He's gone wide on exit of the corner. Go on board with the Ferrari driver. He's so close behind Mays, but Mays has also got Lino in front of him, so Mays has got a... He's going to try and attack and also try and defend as well. So he wants to keep 7th while he can, or he pits early. So Mays, I don't know, maybe a lap early could have gone. It looks like Lino is really struggling on them tyres now though.
Yeah, so I've got a little bit of a problem. But yeah, I solved it, but I just cannot join to the session anymore. So I'm gonna watch the stream, which you are streaming.
Okay, that's not a problem. So Humbug in 7th, half a second behind TJ Honest now. The driver is on a charge. Humbug, one of the probably one of the most decent overtakers we have so far this season and last season. Pretty fair driver, and we'll give it.
Yeah, and Humbug's defense as well is excellent, and I'm surprised, and everyone is like not really taking Humbug as seriously as they should. But he's a very good contender and a very important part of this league, I think, because he can get up there on any given night.
Yeah, he looks like he has real pace, but he's struggled on exit at the corner there, so tyres may be an issue for both Tigianis and Humbug. They should be pitting any time soon, probably switching to either the soft or the medium tyres. VSR, Honey Badger carrying on for another lap, so these guys are keeping their tyres in great condition.
In my opinion, VSR and the guys on the super softs should wait a little bit longer, maybe till lap 15, and then go on to the medium tires and then just finish the race on them. Okay,
brilliant. The Gaul is currently 4th place in the race. Last week's driver of the day, give him a quick shout out because he was unable to join us for pre-race talk, but it just shows you if you can catch the eye of his fellow drivers, it should be a good future for him in Speed Force racing.
And if my mind is right, I think the Gaul got a podium earlier on this season. Let me just check it.
Okay, so while Peter checks that, SFR Chopper all over the back of TJ Honest. TJ Honest all over the back of Humbug as well. Humbug looks like he's dropped a little bit behind Lee now. He's just under a second behind him. All the Ferrari driver, TJ Honest, getting a little bit out of control there, touching the grass. Keeps the car facing the right way, just about, has a little bit of a slide there. So he's suffering with his tyres majorly there. He's going to have to pit anytime soon. Humbug on the charge again, back within under the second window behind Lee now. He's pitting early, he's going to try and get the undercut on Lee now, is Humbug.
So actually the Gord has not got any podiums so far, but he finished 4th 2 rounds ago, and Humbug is in the pits just as TJ Honest. So that's a surprise for me, because Humbug used to holding on those tires, and usually he's the one who pits like the latest.
So him pitting to the medium tyres, do you reckon that's the correct call? Do you reckon that maybe drivers couldn't go from the super softs, say at the end of lap 12, with the switching to the softs at the end of the race? Would the softs not make it?
Well, if I was racing tonight, I would either do the two stops with super softs and super softs, or the super softs and the mediums, nothing else and nothing else. That would be my 2 strategies.
Okay, so Blood and Sand is under 0.8 of a second behind Lord JB, both on the soft tyres, as is Gamey Things. Gamey Things up to
Honey Badger is in the pits, just a quick info.
Yeah, Honey Badger is pitting now, as is Techno Thriller. Honey Badger switching to the medium tyres, so he's going to have a bit sluggish after the pit stop. He should improve later on in the race, so the goal goes up to a 2nd position just due to pit stops. Techno going onto the soft tyres. So interesting call by Techno Thriller there.
And yeah, so that's the 2 strategies I was talking about. In my opinion, Techno's gonna go on to do the 2 stops, coming like around lap 26, I guess, and then put on a set of super softs as well.
So Humbug is going side by side with a Renault driver of S Graham. He looks like he's got the move done, fresher tyres. Great move by Humbug. Lee now has pitted
Yeah,
as well.
Awesome move by Humbug. He gets it done.
S. Graham looks like he's trying to come back at Humbug though. Can the fresher rubber of Humbug keep him ahead of S. Graham? Techno Thriller is on the charge. He's 5th at the moment. He's after Gamey Things. The Force India driver is about 3/10 of a second ahead of the Ferrari driver. Let's see if Techno can use his experience and get past Gamey Things. Has a look on the outside as we go into the corner. He's trying to make a move. Gamey looks like he made a little bit of a mistake, and the Ferrari has got past. So a great move by Techno Thriller. The Galt is now pitting from 3rd position. Honey Badger back into 2nd after his pit stop on the medium tyres. So VSR must be looking after his drivers, looking after his tyres very well, because he's still going lap 14 into the race.
Yeah, I said lap 15 would be the perfect timing to do your pit stops, or a little bit later. It doesn't matter, but earlier than lap 15, no, in my opinion, no, that would not work.
Oh, TJ Honest is making a move on S. Graham. Oh, it looks like they just touched a little bit there. The Ferrari driver getting past the Renault. So S. Graham is losing positions now. That's his 2nd position loss in the space of 2 laps.
Yeah, and just a quick info to give the question of the day out.
Oh yes, let's start with the question of the day, because I always forget about it. I write it out and I forget about it. So we are going to go with, let's see, so only one Hungarian driver has participated in Formula 1. What was the name of that driver? He raced in the Hungarian Grand Prix, so what was the name of that Hungarian driver?
Yeah, so we want the 2 years when he raced in the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Peter being extra
teams.
tough there, aren't you?
Yeah. the two teams as well, which he raced for, and yeah, the name of the driver.
And if anyone gets that, they are going to be superstars or checking out Wikipedia.
They're going to be mentioned in the stream.
Definitely
next
that.
race.
Yeah, I will go with that. TTL Mays, 9th position on the soft tyres, all over the back of the Galt. Mercedes driver getting held up, looks like, by Alank and Blood and Sand. There's a bit of a train behind him now. So is that Blood and Sand going to be able to try and come out of this still in 6th position? Alank getting a 3-second time penalty, exceeding track limits. I guess the stewards are just handing them out now because it is extremely tight. 4 track limits going around this track. TTL Mays following the Galt now. The Galt on the medium tyres, TTL Mays on the soft tyres. A lot of drivers on different tyres now, so it looks like we could have a different battle come the end of the race.
And we missed out on something really important. If you go check out the first 2 positions, they swapped positions.
Yeah, so the undercut worked for Honey Badger, and they're both on different compounds. Medium for Honey Badger, VSR is on the soft tyres. So what are we expecting now with these 2 on different compounds? Who's going to have the major benefit of come the end of the race?
Well, it all depends on this particular moment. Like, the upcoming laps will decide the end of the race.
Oh, VSR's
surely.
had an issue on exit of the corner. It's cost him about 8-9 of a second there.
Oh, yeah. I just saw that. I think I'm a little bit further back in the live stream.
Would have been maybe a little wiggle under braking?
Well, that corner's exit is really tough, because if you go wide, you're gonna get into the wall on the inside. If you get it too tight, then you're gonna get straight off the other side of the wall. So very difficult corner, in my opinion. So these upcoming laps will decide the end of the race, in my opinion, because if Honey Badger can keep VSR behind himself for like 4 more laps. Then VSR, we all know, I think he still has to make 1 more pit stop, because I think that's obvious. But for me, maybe he can do it, but
that's true.
but
I'd
yeah.
like to just allow people to know that the VSR is on the soft tyres. It is showing super softs on the stream for some reason.
Yeah.
It'd be a superstar to get them as far as he's going to take these soft tyres. Techno Thriller, 3rd position. TTL Mays is climbing up the field as well. He's after the Galt, 5 tenths of a second between them. We can stick with this battle between VSR and Honey Badger, 5 tenths of a second between 1st and 2nd place. Both have had their pit stops, both have gone on to different compounds. So a battle to the end for these two would be great. Like Pete said, Honey Badger's going to have to keep VSR behind him for about 4 laps to try and take away the advantage of the softer compound that VSR is running.
Yeah, so yeah, if I was Honey Badger, I would definitely try everything to keep VSR behind me, because this will eventually decide the outcome of the race.
So VSR is having a little look on the outside of the Williams. Williams not giving too much away, trying to keep it in front of the Sauber driver. Looks like the inside line for VSR though. What can Honey Badger do?
That was good defense, and then VSR's gonna launch it up the inside. But
look how close these are. They are giving it a great battle, these two. Brilliant drone by both.
Now they're coming up to Mansell now, and Honey Badger holds it around the outside. Oh my goodness me!
This is what VSR wanted when he returned to Speed Force Racing. Wanted someone to give him great battles through the race. Honey Badger doing that. VSR cannot get past him. Great driving by Honey Badger and VSR.
Yeah, both drivers know that this is it. This is for the race win.
Definitely. So VSR is lining up. He's within DRS range, so he will get that activated when he goes down the start-finish straight, and he's going to try and make a move on Honey Badger. So close to him. Both drivers getting a brilliant exit though from the final corner. Look at this toe. Honey Badger goes very defensive very early on. Goes to the right-hand side of the track to get the inside line for the corner. VSR all over the back of the Williams driver. What can Honey Badger do? Honey Badger having a great race. Clean start to his race has allowed him to get high and lead the race. But VSR on the outside is trying to make the move. He's going to touch the grass. We'll switch to VSR. He's got the move done on Honey Badger. Can Honey... Oh, they've made contact. Honey Badger's made contact with VSR on the exit of the corner. He's kept it out of the barriers.
Oh! Yes!
Wow, so that was not what Honey Badger wanted, probably not what VSR wanted. He probably wanted a battle to the end, but Honey Badger doing extremely well to keep that car pointing the right way with the wing intact as well.
Yeah, so Honey Badger made a mistake, unfortunately, and that was eventually probably the decider. Can you send me an invite? Because maybe, if you can, maybe I can join. That would be a little bit better.
No, I can't. It won't allow me to. Peter having a few issues with the stream tonight. Not the best of ways to showcase what his home Grand Prix would look like on stream.
Yeah.
So Honey Badger has pitted, so he must have had a little bit of damage. So putting him in the danger area of losing a podium this race. So Techno Thriller up to 2nd position. So Techno having a good race. He needs these points. VSR has got a 12-second lead over him. Can Techno respond? Honey Badger goes onto the soft tyres now. So switches from mediums onto the softs. He's going to have a bit more pace to him once he comes out the pit. But the Galt has got past him as well. TTL Mays up to 4th position. Honey Badger losing a lot of positions. Ill-judged move has cost him dearly. TTL Mays all over the back of the Galt. The Galt is having a strong race so far. He's going to get his first podium from Speed Force Racing's Premier Division. TTL Mays is trying to take that off him. He's having a great race, is Mays. So we're on lap 20 out of 35. Speed Force Racing Premier Division round 11 from Hungary. VSR and Honey Badger had a great battle a few laps ago. Honey Badger unable to do the best in that situation. He had a contact with VSR, spun around as well, had to pit, so must have had a bit of damage, and he's come back out on the soft tyres. Also guys, remember, go to www.fatalgrips.com, use code SFRPS4, get 10% off the checkout. They're the guys that are our official partner. Anything you want to do to customise your PS4, PS3, Xbox One, Xbox 360 controls, also your PC gaming. Loads of stuff to choose from, so give it a look. So TTL Mays has dropped back to nearly a second behind the Gault. He's going to probably follow him for a few more laps. We're going to go check on Humbug, see what Humbug can do. He's following the train that is Alank. Alank in 6th position, has got Humbug behind him. Honey Badger, who's trying to recover from a little incident with VSR, got SFR Chopper as well. TJ Honest is nearly within a second of Chopper, so let's see what these two can do. TJ Honest, SFR Chopper, very accomplished drivers. Look at Humbug, he's trying to have a little look. Honey Badger getting into the fray now. Honey Badger having a little battle with the Toro Rosso. He's got damage again, I think. Honey Badger's got damage. It's very possible. It looks like he went into the back of the Sauber then. So very, very close racing there, and a lot of damage caused to one of the guys' wings. We'll try and see what his. It looks like,
and
it
also
is
Chopper. Also Chopper ran into the back of Humbug, I guess, and yeah, Honey Badger does have front damage.
It looks like Chopper may have it as well. He's got a lot of understeer there, and he's going out of the track limits there due to that. So I wonder if he will pit.
He has front right, sorry, yeah, it's front right wing damage, which is pretty bad, because yeah, you have a lot of left-handers, and you need the downforce.
Yeah, that's true. Honey Badger is in 7th position now, 0.3 of a second behind Humbug. Humbug is 3 seconds off Lee now, so Humbug has got a lot to do to try and keep Honey Badger behind him. Honey Badger has shown great pace through the race, even having a nice battle with VSR until an unfortunate move didn't come off, and it resulted in an extra pit stop, going a bit wide there on exit of the corner, does Honey Badger.
Yeah, so it's gonna be another recovery drive for Honey Badger. Fortunately for him, he's not out of the race this time, and he can still score some good points and beat his Speed Force Racing best by finishing on the podium. I think he has the chance still to finish on the podium, because he's like some 6 seconds away from him.
Yes, about 6-7 seconds away from the podium positions, Honey Badger. So that's great support there from Peter to reckon that Honey Badger will get on the podium. He can do it, he has the pace, he's on the soft tyres, so he should be able to challenge the guys that are on the medium tyres, but Honey Badger is pitting once again. So DTL,
because
he got the damage is just too much for him.
I guess, yeah, so then no podium in my opinion again.
Yeah, so just as Pete was giving his prediction that Honey Badger was going to be on the podium, Honey Badger immediately pits and probably is going to put him outside of the points.
I didn't want to jinx it, but that's what we do.
That's it. That's our role for the league, is to jinx drivers.
Yes.
Oh, Lord JB's had to come in together with Blood and Sand, it looks like. Oh, that was very, very messy by those two. Very messy. It looks like the stewards will be investigating that one. Blood and Sand trying to get back at Lord JB. This is for 9th position. Oh, he has a little look there, trying to make Lord JB, trying to defend a different line to what Lord JB would just usually use through that corner. Oh, nearly into the back. He's got to go over the curb there as the Red Bull driver, carrying a lot more speed than Lord JB there, but a bit too much. What can the Red Bull driver do? Can he get past the Haas driver? He looks like he's got so much better performance than Lord JB in the Haas, but look, it's allowing Alank to get through. Blood and Sand goes wide, and Alank goes up into 10th position, pushing Blood and Sand out of the points, and Honey Badger now all over the back of the Red Bull driver. Blood and Sand has a lap to forget, and he has been passed by Honey Badger there, going extremely wide. It looks like Blood and Sand is going to have to pit for repairs, so Honey Badger is in 11th position. Can he get inside the points? 6/10 of a second behind 10th place.
Yeah, and it seems like VSR is running away with this one too.
Yeah, what could have been if Honey Badger was able to keep up and not have the incident, he could have gave VSR a very different race. Honey Badger gets into the points now past the Toro Rosso of Alank. Lord JB in 9th is going to be in a lot of danger from the oncoming Honey Badger.
Ooh, and Honey Badger just made a mistake. Yeah, I know you saw it already. I'm like 2 or 3 seconds down.
Oh, he's all over the back of Lord JB going into the chicane now. Can Lord JB keep ahead of the Williams driver? It looks like he's doing it so far. VSR Marquis gets a 3-second time penalty. Why not? He's 17 seconds in front. He can afford a few of those. Lord JB and the Haas is struggling. He's got a little train behind him now. He's got the Williams, the Toro Rosso and the Ferrari all behind him. Looks like Lord JB is struggling now. Honey Badger trying to make a move on the inside. Toro Rosso tries to follow the Williams through, but Lord JB and the Haas cuts him off and able to keep 10th position. But it looks like he's going to lose at Alank, having a go at battling with the Ferrari of TJ Honest. TTL Mays does pit for the super soft tyres now to end the Grand Prix, so 10 laps on the super soft should be give him a great performance boost over the guys that stopped earlier in the race.
And look at the goat, he's 3rd and Lee Nelly's 4th.
Yeah, brilliant drive by the Gaul. TTL Mays, fresh after his pit stop, is in 8th position, 7/10 of a second behind. Gamey thinks we're going to stick with this battle between Lord JB, TJ Honest and Alank. Very, very good driver. Alank trying to make a move on the Haas driver. Gets pushed a little bit to the grass by the Haas of Lord JB. Lord JB getting a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting as well. Oh, Lord JB getting a little bit out of shape there as well, going into the chicane. Can he keep pace with the Haas? No, Toro Rosso is still following. Alank is on the faster tyres, going to try and get past Lord JB anytime soon. Lord JB struggling very, very badly there.
Yeah, but Alank can get up to the into the points, because he's 12th, and I guess he'll overtake Lord JB at some point. And then only TJ Honest is in front of him, and I think Gamey is just making a pit stop, or just lost the position.
Yeah, Gamey just lost the position. TTL Mays, Mays on the new super soft tyres, able to get past him. Let's go back to the battle with Lank and Lord JB. Lord JB having contact with the Toro Rosso, and he goes into the barrier, keeps his car going though, no damage. So another incident between Lord JB and another competitor. Unlucky for Lord JB. Hopefully he can keep going and try and get into the points, but he's not having the best of races. He'll be the first one to admit that. He usually does a little better than this.
And maybe they're going for...
S. Graham is all over the back of Blood and Sand now. Renault driver 3/10 of a second behind Blood and Sand. What can Blood do? Can he keep 14th position? He's still trying to get after the other Renault of Uzi in 13th, but he's 1.6 seconds behind Uzi, so S. Graham and Blood and Sand will battle it out for 14th and 15th. No points awarded, but just to show these guys that they can still battle no matter what position they are down the field.
So, do you think the podium is set now?
I don't know. I'm expecting a late charge from Humbug. I know he's in 5th position at the moment, 3.3 seconds behind Lee Nell, but I just got a funny feeling Humbug will have a little bit of a say for the podium. Could be a totally wrong prediction, usually are from me, but you never know. So Blood and Sand following Uzi round the final corner, 7/10 of a second between them. Uzi does pit, so it will put Blood and Sand clear on the path to try and challenging Lord JB for 12th position. Lord JB 8.7 seconds behind Alank now, so a lot of time lost. He's struggling with his car today. Top 10 are VSR in first, second Techno Thriller, third the Galt, fourth Lee Nell, fifth Humbug, sixth is SFR Chopper, TTL Maze is seventh, eighth is Gaming Things, ninth is Honey Badger on a very tricky race for Honey Badger, and 10th final points paying position is TJ Honest.
The whole race is tricky for all of us, actually.
Yeah,
even for me too.
Varying issues even for the commentators, with Peter watching the stream, which I think is about 10-20 seconds behind my action.
It's there about 5-10 seconds at least.
Ollie P 15th had an interesting race for him on his debut. He's trying to make a move on S Graham. Mercedes drive all over the back of the Renault. What can S Graham do? Can he keep that 14th position?
Yeah, Uzi just made a pit stop and sorry, he's attacking S Graham. Sorry.
Yeah, Uzi, he did pit for the Super Softs. Look at the Mercedes. He's going to have a little look on the inside there of S Graham, but Ollie P thinks better of it. He's going to get DRS now going down the start-finish straight. What can S Graham do? S Graham chooses his racing line very early. He's going defensive with the inside. Is the Mercedes driver though? Oh, the Renault driver just about gives him enough room. They just make a little bit of contact, but Ollie P will keep on the back of S Graham. S Graham and Ollie P battling very hard for 14th and 15th position. Go check on Honey Badger recovery drive. He's made 2 extra pit stops than he probably would have wanted to do. 6/10 of a second now behind Gamey Things. Gamey Things in the Force India. He's had some solid races this season, has Gamey Things. He's 6.4 seconds behind TTL Maze in 7th, but he's got to be very wary of Honey Badger now on the soft tyres, and they are younger than his medium tyres. So Honey Badger's going a great run on the Force India. The Williams driver going on the outside of the corner, and the inside is for Gamey Things. Gamey Things giving him enough space to just about nearly make contact, but Honey Badger has done it. The Williams driver getting past Gamey Things. Great move there for 8th position.
So I just have a quick game to tell you.
Okay.
Which would be, both of us will have to tell both predictions, and if one of us can get 1 or 2 right, then obviously the one who gets the most right, then that's the winner. And that prediction would be till the end of the season, like I would say, like the Galt will win the championship or something like that.
Yeah, very quite an interesting little thing there. Mercedes driver Ollie P having a battle with S Graham. These two are going at it hard, and they're giving just about enough space to each other, but we'll see. Ollie P has the performance advantage over S Graham. S Graham doing his best though to defend 14th position. It's a great little battle for no points, so just a bit of pride on the line. Can Ollie P get past S Graham? S Graham been with us for well over a season now. Solid driver. He's not had the best of seasons, he'll probably admit to that, but he's got some good drives in him, and he should have some more for the season coming.
Yeah, and he improved a lot. I remember from last season, and he improved a lot, his racecraft and his pace as well. Sometimes he can get up to like even the top 5, which is really hard to do in this competitive field. Yeah,
we've got our Project Cars League starting next week. It's, if you go to www.facebook.com/Speedforce Racing PS4, the details are up there. Please sign up. It'll be a great event, I'm sure. All the details are on our Facebook page. Have a look, sign up, and let's see what you guys have got in the Project Cars. It's going to be so much different to the Formula 1. some drivers struggle with Formula One or are better at project cars. Do you see that quite often within leagues?
Yeah, well, basically two pretty much different games. We're talking about different series. We're talking about now GT cars, not Formula One cars, not open wheel cars. They are closed wheel cars, actually. So there is a lot of difference between the categories in project cars and in Formula One, and that's the way we're gonna run on different tracks to Formula One. I think we're only gonna run on 2 Formula One tracks. One is like, well, I'm not sure about it. I'm gonna check it.
So we're seeing TTL Mays right on the back of SFR Chopper. Chopper makes a mistake, allows Mays through for 6th position. Chopper looks like he's struggling on their medium tyres now. An extra pit made by Mays, I'm assuming, to put the super soft tyres onto the end, and he's getting a great performance advantage over the rest of the guys. But Honey Badger is now 2.6 seconds behind SFR Chopper, so Honey Badger is in the points, and he probably didn't expect that after the contact with VSR when they're battling for 1st position. So these points will be a bonus to him, but he'll probably be very disappointed that he couldn't have got more out of this race.
Yeah, Honey Badger yeah, I think I talked about him a lot throughout the season, how quick, how talented this guy is, and how skillful he is. And I just have to say it again, he needs to find his confidence, and he needs to get things right for him, because yeah, I think in this league nothing comes easy, and yeah, you can see it right there.
So Blood and Sand is battling with Ollie P and also S Graham for 13th, 14th and 15th position. Fastest lap goes to Techno Thriller 118.802. That's after a fresh set of super softs, so he's going to just show the guys that he's still got the speed that got him his debut Drivers' Championship for Speed Force Racing. But we're seeing now Blood and Sand all over the back of Ollie P. Can the Mercedes driver keep in front of the Red Bull? It's going to be very tight. Looks like Blood and Sand has got his number. Is he going to be able to follow him close into the chicane now? Oh, he's going to have to cut the curb there. He cuts the corner. He's going to have to give that position. He does. He looks like he eases off the throttle there to allow Ollie P through. So great driving, but that's cost him with S Graham. Has made a little bit of a late dive. Has cost Blood and Sand 2 positions. Uzi gets past as well. So very difficult to decide who's in the right, who's in the wrong. That's why we have our stewards. So we'll be probably investigate if a driver makes a complaint. But S Graham's having a bit of a nightmare now. He's going to get passed by the Blood and Sand. They've had contact again, the Red Bull and the Renault. S Graham has gone wide though. Looks like he may have a bit of damage. The Red Bull is trying to get back at Uzi and Ollie P, but it looks like he's having a bit of trouble there.
What's going on here? What's going on here?
Bit of a wacky races moment from some of our guys there, getting stuck into the heat of the battle as Uzi makes a move on Ollie P. A nice little dive into turn 1, greatly controlled as well by Uzi. Ollie P trying to have a little run back at the Renault driver. It looks like he's just about in front, but the Renault driver will have the inside line. Very close between these guys. What can Ollie P do? Can he get past Uzi? Uzi, one of the veterans now at Speed Force Racing, been with us quite a while. Some great results in the past as well. Uzi looks like he's pulling away from Ollie P. Oh, Ollie P's had a little bit of a dodgy exit of corner, should we call it. He's lost a bit of time there to Uzi, so 1.6 seconds between them. Blood and Sand on the back of Ollie P after a little bit of a mistake by the Mercedes driver. The Red Bull driver going to be all over the back of him. Lord JB in 12th position. He's 26 seconds, a whole pit stop and a bit behind Alanka in 11th, so not the best of races for Lord JB, but Blood and Sand all over the back of Ollie P. Let's see how Ollie P can handle this pressure going forward. Gonna go check on Honey Badger. Is he gonna make a move on Mays anytime soon? 7th position is Honey Badger on the back of Mays. 6 tenths of a second between them. Can Mays keep in front of the Williams driver? Williams driver having a recovery drive. Let's see how these two will battle it out. We're on lap 35 out of 35, so VSR Marquis is starting his final lap.
And that's a huge 33-second gap between Techno and VSR Marquis.
We must add that Techno did make a late pit stop, so it's not like VSR completely drove away with it. He did have a dominant display though, and his battle with Honey Badger probably will be discussed in the interviews coming up. We'll see what VSR's point of view is from that, and he gets his race win. That's a brilliant job by VSR Marquis, first position at round 11 of Speed Horse Racing Premier Division. Now we're going to see Techno Thriller, our current champion, is going to come home in second position. Great job by Techno Thriller, showing the guys that he's still here, still got it, and he can get the points when needed. Coming up to the final corner now is Techno Thriller, some decent points for the Ferrari team. There we go, 34 seconds, and the Galt now in the Mercedes, third place for the Galt, so his first podium for Speed Force Racing. Great drive there by the Mercedes driver. Lee now is getting hustled by Humbug. Lee now has a 3-second time penalty. How will that affect him when he crosses the line? Will he keep that 4th position? He does. Humbug finishes 6 tenths of a second behind him in 5th. Honey Badger 6th position. 4th position with penalty, so Honey Badger 4th. You nearly called it right there, Peter, when you thought he was going to get on the podium.
Really?
Gamey Things going through for 8th position, and SFR Chopper going through in 9th, so we'll just get a quick roundup of the finishing positions. So great, 8th place there for the Force India Gamey Things. The screen will go blue after I've done the let's say before the stewards get involved classification, because there's a few decisions that are going to get looked at, I guess, by the stewards. So VSR gets first, Techno second, third the Galt, Honey Badger 4th, Lee now 5th, 6th Humbug, TTLMA 7th, 8th Gamey, 9th SFR Chopper, and Lank in 10th position. Apologies for this, we are inviting the drivers in. So just see if we can get back into the party. We'll return to the action, just waiting for a return invite from Peter to get back into the driver interviews. Hopefully we get this very soon. Here we go. So Peter will be inviting the top 3 in. It'll be very interesting to see what VSR Marquis has to say on the race winning incident between himself and Honey Badger.
Yeah, so shall I invite the Gort? Because I believe he finished 3rd.
He doesn't have a mic, so the Galt's reaction to his race will be given to one of the admin and will be put on the Facebook page at www.facebook.com/Speedforce Racing PS4. Results and tables updated weekly by Jonas, also known as Humbug. Just waiting for VSR to see if he can join us for the drivers' interviews. We'll go to Techno Thriller. So Techno, 2nd position today. Was it a race where you just capitalised on the opportunities of others failing and making mistakes? Are you there, Techno?
Hello?
How you doing, Techno Thriller? So, if you can hear me, can you describe your race for us? A race where you got opportunities from others making mistakes?
Yeah, I think Honey Badger has a bit of a reputation for crashing lately.
Looks like we're having issues with Techno at the moment. See if we can sort them out anytime soon. So we'll just hand over to Peter for the moment. Peter, your thoughts on the race?
Yeah, unfortunately, from like lap 15, I had the issue with the internet connection, so I had to watch the race from the stream, and that was not the best way to watch it when you're commentating. But yeah, overall it was pretty exciting, and I was actually surprised how Honey Badger and VSR made mistakes between each other, and then well, Honey Badger made another mistake, or maybe I couldn't see it perfectly, so I think I will look over it and then say my opinion about it. But in my opinion, Honey Badger was a little bit too aggressive, running to the back of or the side of VSR Marquis, and that resulted him running and crashing into the wall and losing the opportunity to win the race, which is a shame, because we could have gotten a lot better race for the win. But yeah, hopefully next time we'll get it.
Okay, Techno, are you there?
Hello?
You're right, Techno. So, would you like to just describe your race for us, please?
Yeah, qualifying was closer than I expected with Honey Badger. But in the race, he seemed to pull away really quickly. But I think he has a bit of a reputation for crashing out in races recently. And so I tried to get as few penalties as I could, hoping that something would happen up ahead. I think Hamilton got unlucky with the disconnection, and in the end I had a big gap to ESR, and also a big gap behind to the Gauls, so I decided to pit and go for the fastest lap for the second race in a row.
So do you see these performances, they're going to boost you to try and kind of retain your championship, or do you think it's a little bit too difficult?
I think it's difficult, probably past the point of retaining first place, but I feel like everyone's gotten better, and I've just kind of stayed where I am. I think perhaps P4, maybe P3 is possible.
Okay, we're going to let you go, Techno. Great job on position 2 in the race. Brilliant display, and we look forward to seeing some decent displays from you in the future.
Thank you.
Good job.
So, an interesting race, and one with a lot of technical issues, which we apologise for. So we're going to end the stream now. Next week we are not here. There's not enough admin to cover the races, cover the streams, and it's not what we want. We want the product to be the best as possible. So we're going to be back in 2 weeks on Wednesday. So 2 weeks today, and it will be for the Spa Grand Prix. That should be an interesting one. So Peter, would you like to give out the answers to the driver of the day? Who was the Hungarian driver to race at the Hungarian Grand Prix?
I will say the two team names and the 2 dates, but I want you to say the name, okay?
Yeah, I say the first name. I know it's Baumgartner. I'm assuming that's how you say it.
Baumgartner.
Right. For people as common as me, we call it Baumgartner. So we'll just stick with that. Yeah, that's
okay.
it.
Yeah, then the other name is Zsolt.
So, what years did he race in Formula 1 when he was able to compete at the Hungarian Grand Prix?
It was 2003 and 2004. In 2003 he was racing for Jordan, and then in 2004 for Minardi.
Brilliant. So we're going to sign off now, and apologies for the quality of the stream. A lot of technical issues on a lot of people's sides, I think. So we will catch you in 2 weeks. Join us for round 12 in a fortnight's time. So go to www.facebook.com/speedforceracing PS4 for the latest news and results. From myself, Adam, and Peter, it's good night.
Good night.